Okay, so I think we're almost done. I now have a few more things to show, but this time it will be how do you keep your drawings clean, the file sizes small. Normally, you would use purge, audit, and such. But in BricsCAD, we also have something we call simplify. So we go to the simplify exercise, and here you would see this drawing. It actually is quite a heavy drawing. If I go to DWG props, it tells me that this specific file is about 7.46 MB. It's quite huge. So one of the culprits are the polylines having so many vertices. So in particular, I have this one line here as a polyline. And if I select that, it's going to take so much time for it to be isolated and read. Let's see that here. We can now isolate this entity. So hopefully, yep, okay. It's a bit faster now. So once I isolate this entity, I'm going to just go to this entity and go to properties. So it's going to take a bit of time here, hopefully not too long. So you might experience this too. It's because of the number of vertices in this one polyline. There's so many of them, and it's making the drawing so heavy. So it's really a pain point for some of the users or customers that you might face, and you can help them solve this issue that they may be having through our optimization tools. So what I'm going to show you here would be simplify, and simplify can be found under the manage tab. So let's just wait for it to read. So you see here, it's really taking a lot of time just to be able to show the properties of this one polyline here. I've tried this a few times and it's the same every time. It's because of the vertices that we have. And actually, we'll see in a while that in the properties panel, it has more than 350,000 vertices in that single polyline, which is a bit ridiculous. It's only 340 meters long. So it's really crazy. So let's just wait a bit more while it's trying to read that polyline to show us the properties. Okay, finally, you see here geometry vertices, and it's like more than 350,000 vertices, and it's just ridiculous. So let's go to manage, then click simplify, which can be found here in the drawing optimizations tools. Simplify. So in simplify, we can select the entity and select simplify, have a maximum angle and distance. So let's choose a distance of 1. Just follow along the exercise. And we have an angle of 2 degrees. Okay. And then let's just enter this twice. So now we see that when we select this polyline, it's very easy now to show the properties. In an instant, the vertices have gone down to 450. So the 350,000 vertices was really crazy. So if you recall, we had used DWG props just to show some information. Here you can check out this later on. If you save the file, what happens to the file size? So that's an option for you. You can save that and then just see again using DWG props that 7 point something MB file has now been reduced. Okay, so let's move on to Optimize. Optimize is one of the other tools we have. I think you may be familiar with this, but now you can try it out on your own. This geometry is not horizontal, it's not vertical, there are gaps all over. It's just a bit messy. It can be coming from maybe an external party that your customer might be coordinating with, and they just want to fix the drawing. So in the ribbon, again, under Manage, you can use Optimize, and you can play around with the information here and make sure that the live feedback option is ticked so that you can see um, what is happening in the drawing itself while this dialog is active. So you can see, like, let's say if I have here 10, what happens to my drawing? Nothing really. If I have here 2, what happens to my drawing? Nothing really. But you can play around with all these. Maybe this gap tolerance can be 20. Just see what happens with your drawing. So make sure that you follow the settings that have been shown in the exercise module. So that means that we're going to be having this correctly. Select the lines in the drawing. We just want to make sure that the tolerances are according to what we prefer. So we have this 2, that's correct. We adjust this to be 0.5 on the distance tolerance. We have this rounding tolerance to be 0. And the gap tolerance can be only 5. So let's see what happens to our drawing then. Yeah, and apply it. Oh, okay. I must select. Oh, that's why it wasn't working. So let me select that. So let's repeat this to be 2, 5, 0, and 5. So apply it. So now we can see that this one has been resolved. The way it's interacting with each other, I mean, the lines have been resolved, and this looked a bit better than what we had earlier. So this can also be used with some information that you may get from point clouds. So this is a file that was generated automatically from a section plane cutting through a point cloud. And there are plenty of small inaccuracies here, like skewed walls or small gaps in between lines. And we can also use Optimize for this. So Optimize, and then let us select our lines. So we just select our lines. Or one option would be just select entire drawing. And then increase the tolerances. So maybe have 5 degrees. And then 1 mm here. Okay. And then for the rounding tolerance, it will be 0. And gap tolerance will be 100. Okay. So we click apply. And we can see that it's a bit better than what we had earlier. So of course, depending on the type of file that your customer might be getting, it will still need some manual touch-ups to make sure that the drawing is clean and usable. But in general, Optimize and Simplify and all our drawing optimization tools will help out a lot with your customer and when you're explaining these tools that they can use. Okay, so